Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are going to be continuing where we look at the best artifact pairings for PvP as of March 2023. And I didn't mean to rhyme, but when I do it, I'm on time. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and start with this. Now, again, a quick disclaimer, as I had mentioned before, is that at the moment, right, there's a mix of, top kind of mid-powered players that have filled this out, along with whomever else as well. However, when we do this the next time, whether it's next month or if we do this every 2 to 3 months to get a meta gauge, I'm putting together a private group that includes as many players within, the top 2, 3, 400 strongest powered players. And a big reason for that is because obviously those with higher power typically have more of the game unlocked, so they're able just to do a lot more testing. On top of that, bear in mind that a lot of the players that are at the top do also a lot of fighting, at least until there becomes an accurate gauge or way to really, if you want to say hard filter, out those that are, consistent fighters season to season. This is really just a building block and a stepping stone, so that way when we do this next time, right, that the people that are filling it out are 100% right at this power level and more, which really will just give us a better overall gauge as we continue developing. So let's go into the first one here, right, which is what's the artifact to level up first? We have number one is Mirage Orb, where we got almost 29% of the vote. And then second, coming in, Infernal Flame. We get to what is the artifact to level up second. Oh, and you know what? Here, we'll do this as well, so I can keep the notepad up, because I know you guys liked looking at that when we were putting it together, right? So we'll say first one was Infernal Flame. Oh, sorry, Mirage Orb. I'm tripping. See, look at that. Can't even remember things. All right, there we go. Second one. What artifact should we level up second? Okay, Infernal Flame. Getting that, so we'll put that there. Infernal Flame. And then how about third? So third, we have Gold Crest. Coming in close, Phoenix Eye, and then Shadow Blade. So we'll go Gold Crest for third. And then how about the fourth artifact that we should be leveling up? So this is actually a three-way tie. Interesting. So we have Gold Crest, Spirit Bone Torque, and Rattle Spear. Okay. Well, because we already have gold, it doesn't really matter, I guess, right? So we'll do this. We'll do Spirit, Bone, Torque, if I could spell, and we'll do Rattle Spear. And then I'll widen this gap out a bit there just so it looks pretty. Okay. As we move on, what's the fifth artifact you should level up? So this is a pretty close here, right? You got Spirit Bone, Torque, Shadow Blades, Rattle, Infernal, Breath of Jargentus. That we ended up here. So we'll do this. We'll do GC, ST, because we know what these mean. What was the other one? Was Shadow Blades and Breath of Jargentus, right? So we'll do Shadow Blades, Breath of Jargentus. Cool. Awesome. So we'll do a little enter. And then we'll go here. Right, what's the sixth artifact that you should level up? So we got Spring Blades, which is pretty clear there on that one. And then we have, what's the artifact we should level up 7? This is a pretty big equal pie, but Spring Blades kind of comes in there along with Breath. And you see that there's not as much, which is interesting. And when I think about it now, I probably should have only done up to 5, but I thought, hey, if we did up to 10, it could almost kind of be like a tier list type thing. But you get Spring Blades coming in again. Then we get 8th. So this one we got Kingslayer. Right, so some people kind of diving down a little bit more. Then we get 9th, Storm Arrows, interesting there. And then we get 10th. 10th one, Storm Arrows again, but Kingslayer coming in second, so we'll do Storm Arrows. So, again, maybe not as indicative and clear as we probably would have liked to see compared to what we did on the PvP side, so maybe next time we might just do the top 5. Now let's look at what are the top 5 artifacts, right? So based on percentages, this is what we have based on now 28 responses. Always nice to see some people filling out responses even after we did first of our 3 videos. We got Infernal Flame coming in at number 1 with almost 86% of the vote. Number 2 is Gold Crest coming in with almost 68% of the vote. And then we ended up getting Rattle Spear, coming in at third with 64% of the vote. And then we have a tie for fourth and fifth, which is between Spiritbone Torque at almost 54%, and then Mirage Orb at almost 54%. Next honorable mention after that would be Spring Blades at 46% of the votes. So that kind of rounds out, your top five. Then we also have some people that may have... Oh, no, we don't. Never mind. Okay, great. I thought these might have been some extras down here, but no, those were just the additional epics that I put in. Okay. So let's go into some explanations. Like I've mentioned before, right? I'm going to read about half of these, and then I will eventually publicize the analytics for this form that are going to be on my Discord, as I mentioned in the first video. I'm usually in that CoD data stats section, but I'll do that after I finish the third video, as our next one's going to cover pets. Okay, so can you explain why you chose those 5 artifacts? So all S2 artifacts are really strong for the 7% taken and dealt. I think these particular ones complement meta marches the most. And then right here, you see right here, they have the 7.5% stat, strong abilities from field fights, Infernal and Goldcrest, obliterate enemies, Rattlespear for defense, penetration, for Hoskin, Breath of Gigantus to support other mages, mage marches with defense break, and Spiritbone Torque to not let the enemies escape. Huge. And then let's read here. So we have, okay, so here we go, there's a little more detailed ones. These are the ones I like. Respectfully. A combination of accessibility and max strength. Some are high priority because easily accessible. And relevant other for long term as stronger but harder to get. Okay. I selected the best artifacts for each troop type. Breath of Gigantus, which is just the best support artifact in the game currently. Infernal Flames and Mirage Orb both give attack for their stats, which are most important stats and have high damage skills, and synergies with strong heroes, Lily and Bertrand respectively. Spring Blades also giving attack for stats, high damage skill, and synergy with Emerus. Spiritbone Torque gives defense, with which is second best stat for infantry. Force taunts legions onto infantry, which helps fulfill the purpose of infantry and synergizes well with adding counterattack damage if using Goresh Skogul. Rattlespear gives attack, which is the best stat for archers and has high damage skill and synergies with Kanara Awakened skill and or control talent tree. And let's just see if there's going to be one more. Okay, we'll read this last one. Mirage Orb is the best artifact in the game. The damage is very high. Again, bear in mind this was provided to us before the recent nerf. Long range, can use autocast and the knock-up effect, can push enemies into bad positions. Rattlespear, great passive bonus and insane damage, but limited usage in large-scale war due to standing still for 6 seconds and short range. Breath is underrated, amazing artifact for large-scale war since it can hit 10 enemies and last for 30 seconds. Okay, let's go in here. What's the best artifact for mage? Infernal Flame, number 1 at 54% of the vote, and then number 2, Mirage Orb at 36% of the vote. How about the best artifact for archer? Goldcrest at 57% of the vote, and then Rattlespear, 32% of the vote. What's the best artifact for flying? Visage of the Sanctus, 25% of the vote. Next highest was over here, Mirage Orb, and then third, Springbird Feather, honorable mention. What's the best artifact for Cav? This is a little bit more clear. Spring Blades at 61% of the vote, and then Kingslayer at about 29% of the vote. Lastly, what is the best artifact for infantry? Spiritbone Torque, 57% of the vote. Second mention, Dragon Scale Armor, 25% of the vote. All right, well, that rounds out our PvP questionnaire for March of 2024. I gotta make sure I get my dates right. And again, this one was to go over artifacts. We'll do another one that'll release tomorrow or the day after, and that's going to be talking about war pets and showing you guys that. I also really just want to say I appreciate those that have been providing the feedback. I've already been thinking about ways to improve this overall, other areas, other questions that I can add, or ones that I can reduce certain things on. And this is just a great kind of version 1 building block that I'm hoping we can keep fine-tuning, and then end up getting a lot more responses back as well. Because for me, as I mentioned before, I love being able to hear from those of you that are on the front lines, those that are in the community that are doing a lot of fighting. And so, compared to giving my, thoughts if I was out there fighting as well and I gave my opinion on things, which sure, I wouldn't mind doing that. But I very much like seeing what the actual trends are based on as much data as we can gather, because I think that really will tell us what the meta is. Where were we once before? Where are we now? How are we transitioning? How are we adjusting? And then what are people focusing on? What's the reasonings behind that, right? I think there's a lot of educational purpose that I like to be able to provide, especially when we see those players take time to write, a nice explanation or an easily digestible explanation that gives you some good insight into why some of these top players are running some of those particular artifacts. And so I hope that helps out, whether it's new players and vets alike. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, I'll catch you later.